We are here for goodness sake. Hello family, this is Carol Worth with Saul to Paul LLC, and welcome to the Goodness Forum YouTube and podcast where goodness and positivity are openly discussed and amplified. So each episode we focus on a topic and a quote, and we have a guest, either an individual or a business, who is here to talk about and discuss the goodness and positivity that they are doing in the world. Because what we know here is that a world that works for everyone is possible. And one of the things we can do to facilitate that is focus on the good, because what you focus on grows. And our guest today is Mery Smith, and we actually have a bonus guest. Her infant Howie is here with us. So if you hear cute, adorable sounds, that's what you're hearing. So if Mery has to duck out of frame for just a moment to tend to Howie, then that's where she's gone. So she'll be right back. So we're actually talking to Mery, so she's the focus. So our topic today is shine abundantly. And that really came from Mery, because what I did is I gave her the quote that to me most exemplified her. And I'm going to read the quote and then tell you a little bit about how I know Mery, and then talk to her about what she's doing in life that's good and spreading that goodness and positivity. So here's the quote. It's an Edith Wharton quote, and it is this: "There are two ways of spreading light, to be a candle or the mirror that reflects it." And we chose that quote because it really does speak to how we are when we are coming from our authentic self, the love that we are, the light. We're here to shine. And so we can shine that light, but then also we are here to see the light in others and reflect it back to them. And it just grows, it amplifies. And when I told Mery the quote, she's like, "Sounds like abundance to me." And so as you can see, just looking at her, she is a glowful kind of human being. So I first met her 6 years ago when I moved to Spokane, Washington, and we just absolutely hit it off. And the thing about Mery is she's full of energy, she's full of light and life. She is always up to something. She started her own podcast. Now I know this is going to be shocking, but the name of the podcast is Mery Sunshine, and which is just so perfect. She is an author. She has been on, and I'm going to read because I don't want to mess up the name, to a show that is a nationwide show, Listen to Your Mother. And she is the mother of 4 boys. And it's amazing to watch her with her children and to watch her in life and how she shines and glows for people, that she doesn't even realize that she's doing that. We spread light and that warmth, and Mery is a fantastic example of that. So I'm going to ask you to start out by just telling us a little bit about how you came to be a podcaster, and then maybe a little bit about Listen to Your Mother, and just how things are in your life, because to me your life is an example of shining.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the intro. And I do have a blog, so I don't podcast like
that wasn't a podcast. Sorry, I got the wrong verbiage.
I do, yeah.
It's a blog.
It's a blog. So if you go to my blog, you won't hear me, but you'll read, and hopefully the hope is that you do actually hear my voice come through that. So I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a stepmom, which I think is also like important. So I had to earn that. And a friend, sister, daughter, all the things. I'm trying to be a writer. Right now I feel like I'm a writer who's not writing.
Got that.
Just because this is the season. Well, it's the season of life. But I'm mostly just like, sorry, I'm at a little loss for words here.
Well, so tell us a little bit about the blog. How is it that you came to, because it's on the web, people can find you there.
Sure.
Like, what was the inspiration for doing that? Like, what was your motivation? How did you come to pick the name?
Okay. Yeah, well, the name was a gift. The name was a gift from my husband.
Oh, wow.
Because he's the one who did the logo and the branding, and he is a graphic artist. So he gifted the blog to me for like a commemoration kind of a thing. Like it was like I was celebrating a milestone, and so he gifted this to me. So it was Mary Sunshine, and people have been calling me that for all my life. So that's where that came from. And I actually got the kind of the inspiration to do it because of Facebook. I was writing like little status updates on Facebook, and then just kind of putting my love, my light, my little spin on things out into the world, and just like a status update. And somebody said, "Hey, I love reading your stuff. Why don't you start a blog?" And I was like, why don't I start a blog?
Why don't you start a blog?
Yeah, like, okay. It seemed like next best indicated thing.
Yeah.
And so, kind of put that little bug in my husband's ear, and then one day I had this beautiful
gift,
this blog, this platform. He was like, "Here you go."
That's so cool. And so, what do you like to write about? What is it that you communicate to your people that read your blog? What do you like to write?
I like to write just, the real stuff for me. I can't remember who said it, but what they said resonated with me, which was like, I write so that I can know what's true. And for me, writing is the way that I find out who I really actually am, because I can get really mixed up trying to maybe please or trying to fit in or what have you. But when I write, that is not how it rolls. How it rolls is like I just really get to meet myself where I am. So it's a really honest exchange with myself, and then being able to share that and tell other people the story of who I am, or how I am on this day, or what I was like in that situation or circumstance. I mean, I've written a lot about mothering, because I've been doing that for the last 7 years,
right? And
am doing it currently. So so that tends to weave in there as well. So it's just a very personal experience. I don't really write to tell other people about them.
You're doing it as a self-expression.
Yep.
Yeah. And so when you do that kind of writing, and I can kind of identify with that. I've done some very personal writing. What was it like for you then to make that leap of faith, to go from writing this personal stuff to actually sharing it with, whoever ends up on your page? What was that like for you?
It's pretty much been all positive. Like, it's been a really cool experience to be like, I wrote this basically for me, and then someone say, "Me too."
Like, I identify with what you're going through.
Yes, like giving people, permission to feel however they feel about a certain thing, or to connect with a part of themselves that maybe they just didn't even know. Yeah. Like, it's cool to be like, something about me connects with something about you, and maybe I don't even need to know you for that to be possible, but for us to know these things about ourselves, about each other, it connects us. So it's been a very it's just been a very neat way to connect with people. Yeah.
And so what I'm hearing in that is that your candlelight, your light, is going out, but then you're actually reflecting what other people's light is as well.
Yes.
And that's an amplification.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So there is something. So when you first did this, did you have to set anything aside in order for you to be able to step out? Because when you're sharing that level of the authentic sharing, there is a risk in that. So did you experience any resistance, or did you experience any questioning of that, or was it just all like a yahoo, I'm out here?
No.
Okay.
No.
Perfect.
No, because Because for me, when I tell the truth, it's not always going to be like wrapped up in a pretty little bow and sunshine's like ping, ping, like beaming out of it all the time. That just hasn't been my experience. And particularly, you know, when it comes to things like, you know, I've experienced some grief, and I've got a child with special needs, and his name is Hobbs, and he was born November 3rd, 2011, and I was just not prepared, you know, not prepared in the slightest to be like, oh, like now I'm one of those moms, like I have one of those kids, and I went through a lot on my blog, very publicly, very openly, and I didn't actually think twice about it. And then I did experience a little bit of like, well, you should be grateful, and you should, and a lot of people telling me how I should feel and what I should think about my new life and my new baby, and that was hard, and it did make me question, you know, myself, but the truth is that I felt what I felt when I felt it.
Right.
And I allowed myself to just go through the process as authentically to myself as I could.
Right.
And sharing that, then I noticed after that was like anything. It was like after you get in a car accident, the next time you get in the car, you're probably going to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah.